So the third one we have said is called physical data model. The third one is physical data model. And we write that this is how of the implementation. This is how of the implementation. How of the implementation. Full stop. It describes a database specific. It describes a database specific implementation. A database specific implementation of the data model. Describes a database specific implementation of the data model. Full stop. It helps in visualizing the database structure. It helps in visualizing the database structure. It helps in visualizing the database structure. So we are saying that when we talk about data modeling, we are looking at how are we going to store our data, how do we capture that information, and how do we capture the relationships existing between the information. For example, if we have the number of workers and we have the number of hours they have worked, and we have the pay per rate, and then we need to know the total amount that is due. So those are types of data. How do we go about showing their relationships? How do we store them? And that is now what we are calling data modeling. It's like creating a store or a database. Now we have three traditional levels of modeling. The first one at the lowest is where you just keep the what is going to be contained in that store, in that model, in that print, what is there. And the what is there, that's why we are saying it is like the whiteboard. Just like you can see my whiteboard here, what is contained there. So in the whiteboard, we seek to know the types of data. Just like I've said, we could have the number of workers, we could have the hours worked, we could have the rate per hour, we have the total amount, and so on and so on. Then we may also need to give the attributes. Like when we talk about the workers, can we give characters like age, like gender, like the number of years worked, and so on and so on? What are the individual characters if they exist? Then we may also need to capture the relationships, as I've already said. What is the relationship between the total wages paid and the rate per hour and the number of hours worked? Maybe we multiplied. Yeah. So what is the relationship between the wages paid per worker and the total wage bill? We need to add. So those relationships should be captured. What is the scope? Where are you going to include? Like if we are doing that kind of data that I've talked about wages, are we doing them for 1 day, or are we preparing for 1 week? Are we preparing for a month or for a year? We need to know the scope. And what are the rules that will be used? Can we have, for example, a worker appearing twice in our payroll? Can we have a worker appearing with 2 emails? So what are the rules that will be put? We need to capture that. Then on top, after you have done now the general framework, you proceed to the second level, which is called logical. Now, logical is about using your brain. It's about thinking more. It's about trying to understand what are the patterns. How do we implement this? And that's why we are saying it creates a technical map. What is the roadmap in a technical way? This is now more technical for people who are well versed. And this is where you come up now with rules, more rules. You come up with structures and so on. And we are saying it builds on the concept. It builds on the concept. Then after that, you have now the physical data. This is where now you implement and you make it visible. As in now, the user can be able to use it. If it is your boss, they can be able to use it. If it is the employee or whoever, now you prepare it in a way, or you present the data in a way, they can be able to use it. Good. So take note of these questions. The first one is August 2023. August 2023, question 2 and question 11. August 2023, question 2 and question 11. April 2023, April 2023, question 14 and 17. Question 14 and question 17. December 2022, question 1. December 2022, question number 1. And then December 2023. December 2023, question number 6. December 2023, question number 6. So you will again familiarize yourself with those questions and see whether you can be able to handle them. So moving on, we now get to look at something called big data. Big data. Big data. Big data. And write that this refers to large. This refers to large, diverse. This refers to large, diverse sets of information. Diverse sets of information from a variety of sources. From a variety of sources. From a variety of sources that grow at an increasing or at an ever-increasing rate. From a variety of sources that grow at an ever-increasing rate. First of all, the most common characters are known as 5 V's. The most common characters are known as 5 V's, as explained below. As explained below. One is volume. Volume, and we just put a hyphen, size and amount. Volume is about size and amount. Number 2 is value. Hyphen, and we say usefulness of the data. Usefulness. Usefulness of the data in decision making. Usefulness of the data in decision making. Number 3 is called variety. Variety, hyphen, and we talk of different data types. Different data types. Different data types, that is structured, comma, semi-structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. And unstructured. Number 4, we have velocity. Velocity. Velocity, we talk of speed at which data is getting. Speed at which data is getting accumulated. Speed at which data is getting accumulated. And number 5 is veracity. Veracity. Hyphen, and we talk of the truth. Truth, in quote, or accuracy of data. Accuracy of data and information assets. And information assets. So we are saying that big data refers to data that has 4 main characters or 4 main key things. That the data is huge, is large, and is diverse. And it's coming from a variety of sources, not just coming from one place. And this data is also growing at an increasing rate, not only in terms of that data itself, but even in terms of sources, the channels. Like today, if you look at social media, some years back, we only had Facebook. Actually, we did not have the social media. Then Facebook came in. Before we knew it, YouTube were there. LinkedIn were there. Kina TikTok have been there. Kina Twitter. So the sources are increasing. Even the volumes are also increasing. So at a single point of time, you have very, very many sources of information. When I look at my phone here, the information coming to me is coming from various sources. Some of them are coming via WhatsApp. Zingine, they come through the email. Zingine, they come through the SMS. Zingine, they come through calls. At least those are 4 sources. And if I've installed the other platforms, they are also sources of data. So at a single point of time, I have a lot of information coming to me. The same happens to businesses. That's why we are talking of big data. So how do we go about it? We need, first of all, to know about the data. So it has 5 main characters. One is about the volume, how big, the size. We also look at the value. Is it useful? All this information, is it useful to us? Number 3, the variety. Is this data structured? Is it unstructured or semi? Then what is the velocity, the speed at which the data is arriving to us? And then veracity. Veracity has to do with the truth, the accuracy. If you remember the other day when they released the KCPE results, like I know of a school in my neighborhood, they got results of the sign language subject, but then they don't teach that. So when they reached the concern, that was substituted wakapewa their subject. We saw even some parents going to the courts to say that this is what our kids have been scoring. Yeah, so that has to do with the veracity. It has to do with the truth of the system. Okay, let's proceed on and say other characters, brackets V's include other characters into brackets V's include Roman 1, viscosity. Viscosity. Viscosity, and we put a hyphen there and say complexity or degree of correlation. Complexity or degree of correlation. complexity or degree of correlation. Roman 2 is variability. Variability, and you say inconsistency in data flow. Inconsistency in data flow. Inconsistency in data flow. Roman 3, volatility. 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 And there we talk of durability of data being useful. Durability of data being useful. Durability of data being useful. Number 4 is another V called viability. 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 And we explain that this is capability to be live and active. Live and active. Capability to be live and active. Validity. Validity. And we explain understandable to find hidden relationships. Understandable to find hidden relationships. Understandable to find hidden relationships. Yeah, those are other V's that you can feel biased. One is about viscosity, and it has to do with the complexity, the relationships that are there. There is the variability. Variability has to do with the variance, the inconsistency, the differences. Then we have volatility. Volatility has to do with how durable it is being useful. This information that I'm giving you, how durable is it? How long can it help people? The other thing is viability. Is it capable to be live and active? It's just like it is the question of usefulness. And then validity. Can we be able to use it and maybe discover some hidden patterns, some hidden meanings? And you will discover that life in general, and the business world specifically, it has to do with a lot of hidden communications. And it is for you now to decipher or to be able to know what exactly are these people saying. Okay, so having said that, let's now look at challenges of big data. Challenges of big data. Challenges of big data. 1, cyber security. Cyber security. Number 2, data quality is not guaranteed. Data quality is not guaranteed. Number 3 is data storage. Data storage. Number 4 is lack of experience. Lack of experience. Number 5 is data interpretation and analysis. Data interpretation and analysis. The last one is ethical issues such as violation of privacy. Ethical issues such as violation of privacy. So those are some of the challenges you find anytime you are dealing with this huge data. The issue of cyber security. Like now, if you look at software like QuickBooks, they have been doing a lot of campaigns that we move from desktop to online. And when I talk to some of my clients or some of the friends, you hear people asking, how sure are we that hii data ikiwekwa huko kwa cloud is safe? That's a concern. The data quality. This information we are getting from everywhere. We Google. How accurate is it? Who authored it? What are their qualifications? You know, people can just put anything in the internet. The other thing is the data storage. Data storage, do we have the infrastructure? Do we have the capacity to store? The other thing that we need to concern ourselves with is lack of experience. It is true we have the data, but what do we do with it? That's why some people will tell you what you do with the information is none of my business. Yes, you have the data. What do you do with it as a concern? Not everyone has the experience. The interpretation, you may compute the dashboards are there, the models are there, the statement is there. How do we interpret that? And then the ethical issues like violation of privacy. So you find that okay, Marcel, you are saying that you only saw one pilot paper. I thought I sent all of them. Let me see what I sent. I sent 2 documents. One has 29 pages and the other one has 6 pages. 6 pages is the pilot paper of December 2022. And the one that has 29 pages is the past papers. And then I also sent the course outline. Yes, good. Yeah, we are there. Good. So take note of these questions. Take note of these questions that are relevant in that area. August 2023. August 2023. Question 1, question 14, and question 15. April 2023. April 2023. Question 12. December 2022. December 2022, question number 5. December 2023. December 2023, questions 4, question 5, and question 20. Yeah. Actually, this is one of the reasons why many people complain and they fail BDA, because they ignore this theory. They just want the Excel. Na hiyo Excel bado inakuja inawalemea. Na hii tu theory rahisi. And you can see in one paper. Kama hii. This one, even this one. 3 questions from just this area. 3 questions. And each of these questions is 2 marks. Those are already 6 marks. And I think there are 20 questions. So you need to really take note of these very simple things. Okay, let's proceed on and discuss something called data analysis and data reporting. Data analysis and data reporting. Hold on a minute. Okay, so let's write this, that data analysis is an interactive. Data analysis is an interactive process, of a person tackling a problem, finding the data required to get an answer, analyzing that data, and interpreting the results, in order to provide a recommendation for action. a recommendation for action. In order to provide a recommendation for action, an interactive process of a person tackling a problem, finding the data required to get an answer, analyzing that data, and interpreting the results in order to provide a recommendation for action. Okay, let's now talk about data reporting, and we write that data reporting is the process of organizing. Data reporting is the process of organizing and summarizing data. The process of organizing and summarizing data in an easily readable format. In an easily readable format. Easily readable format to communicate important information. In an easily readable format to communicate important information. Yeah, so that is what we call the data analysis. It is about an interactive process where you are handling a question and you want to analyze the data, interpret the results so that you can provide an answer and provide a recommendation for an action. But reporting is just summarizing and saying what has happened and just giving that information. Now, I want us to look at some differences between the two. And we put them in a tabular format. On this side, we have data analysis. Here, we have data reporting. And in the analysis, we can write that analysis deals with questions raised on the data. Analysis deals with questions raised on the data. Analysis deals with questions raised on the data. But on the other side, a report shows what happened in the past. A report shows what happened in the past to avoid inferences. A report shows what happened in the past to avoid inferences. What happened in the past to avoid inferences. Point number 2 on the side of analysis, right? That analysis provides information. Analysis provides information or the answer needed. Analysis provides information or the answer needed. But on the other side, a report provides the data asked for. A report provides the data asked for. The data asked for. Number 3, analysis can be customized. Analysis can be customized. But on the other side, we write that a report is standardized. A report is standardized. A report is standardized. On the other side, we write now on the data analysis, we write a person must be involved. A person must be involved. But on the other side, it can be done without a person. It can be done without a person. The last one on the side of analysis is that analysis is flexible. Analysis is flexible. On the other side is reporting is inflexible. Reporting is inflexible. Reporting is inflexible. Yeah, those are the differences you notice between data reporting and data analysis. We are saying analysis deals with questions that have been raised, but the report provides information of what happened so that people do not make inferences. People do not start guessing. We provide information. That's why we say income statement for the period ended. That's reporting. Balance sheet is that. So analysis provides the answer of any question that has been raised. That's why we require analysts. But the report provides the data. We are told fixed assets ni hizi, cost of sales ni hii, and so on. Analysis can be customized. You can do it in the way you wish. But reporting, as you know from your financial reporting, there are standards. Kama ni kitu kama cash flow, we have a standard. The other thing is that in analysis, we must have a human being. But in reporting, you don't need a human being. It can be done using a system. If you look at something like QuickBooks, it has almost 100 reports that can be generated. And then we are saying analysis is flexible, but reporting is inflexible. So let's stop there for today. We pick up from there in our next lesson. Thank you very, very much. You can have a good day. Thank you, Mercy.